Chelsea Morgan ruled the PTA with fake smiles and backroom gossip, until her own recordings played over the speakers at the fundraiser. Parents froze, Monica didn't blink, that was last Friday. Now Chelsea's banned from every event in Brookdale, and her perfect mom image is officially dead. I first met Chelsea Morgan at Ethan's 5th birthday bash at the indoor gym. Her flawless blazer and icy smile screamed control, but it was the tiny voice recorder tucked in her designer tote that struck me. Unnoticed by others, but not by me. She floated from mom to mom like royalty. I tried to talk to her about bake sale logistics, but she redirected the group, effortlessly sidelining Emily. That moment felt oddly choreographed, and I felt naive for trusting her. A week later, Chelsea invited a few of us to her pristine home casually. Her walls were lined with family portraits, but her laptop stayed open, tabbed on a spreadsheet labeled Parent Status, 2024. I caught a glimpse before she slammed it shut with a chuckle. When Emily spoke up about volunteering again, Chelsea nodded with that manipulative simper and said, "We'll see." Emily shrank back. That moment, the fake warmth, the controlling grin made my skin crawl. At the school's spring fair, Chelsea circulated with her phone clutched like a scepter. I noticed her swiping into the voice memo app repeatedly. Later, Monica overheard a parent asking, "Did I really say that?" And Chelsea just smiled that smug, manipulative simper. Emily showed up with homemade cupcakes, only to be moved to the far corner table by Chelsea's logistics team. I clenched my fists. Was this intentional sabotage, or just another PTA oversight? Monica confided that she'd seen Chelsea editing audio clips at the coffee shop names, gossip, and twisted quotes sliced together. For event notes, Chelsea claimed, flashing that manipulative simper again. Meanwhile, a rumor about Emily owing money began circulating, just days after she challenged Chelsea about volunteer favoritism. When Monica defended her, another mom whispered, "Careful, Chell, she always finds out." The warning chilled me. Was Chelsea building a case, or a trap? At the monthly parent council meeting, Chelsea accidentally played a distorted voice clip of Emily raising her voice, completely out of context. Gasps filled the room. Chelsea blinked innocently, saying, "Oh, sorry, wrong file." But that manipulative simper told the truth. Emily left in tears. Monica glanced at me, her jaw tight. I overheard a dad mutter, "She's always recording us." But when we tried to raise concerns, another member defended Chelsea, saying, "She's just organized." Was everyone too scared or already captured? At the Mother's Day brunch, Monica stood up mid-toast, her hands trembling but her voice clear. "Before we celebrate community, let's talk about control," she said, eyes locked on Chelsea. She reached into her purse and pulled out a printed transcript voice clips Chelsea had stitched together to shame Emily. "You edited this, and we know it." Chelsea's eyes narrowed, her fingers clutched her wineglass, that manipulative simper vanished for the first time. Parents turned, Emily sat frozen, her teacup rattling. The tension snapped as Monica added, "You built a throne out of secrets, but now we're listening too." And the room fell silent. Chelsea tried to laugh it off, standing with that old charm. "Everyone records for transparency these days," she said, but her voice cracked. Monica stepped closer, phone in hand. "Then let's hear this one," she said, tapping play. Chelsea's voice gleeful, cruel filled the air. "I'll make sure Emily never gets a role again. Let her bake in the back." Gasps broke out. One mom dropped her napkin. Chelsea's face went pale. That manipulative simper she wore like armor shattered completely. "You misunderstood," she stammered, but no one looked convinced anymore. Emily gripped her purse tighter, slowly rising. This wasn't just Monica's stand, it was hers too. Chelsea bolted from the room, her heels clacking like alarm bells. But Monica followed, calm and unyielding. "You erased voices, Chelsea. Now they're speaking," she said. Outside, by the parking lot, several parents confronted her. No more whispers, no more fear. Emily stepped forward, holding a PTA handbook. "I'm filing a formal ethics complaint," she declared. Chelsea froze, unable to summon even a trace of that manipulative simper. Her voice recorder slipped from her tote and hit the pavement, cracked, silent. A dad picked it up, saying, "We'll be keeping this." For the first time, Chelsea looked small, powerless, like a curtain had fallen on the Queen Bee's downfall. Just when we thought it was over, Monica found something worse. An encrypted folder on Chelsea's cloud, titled Parent Notes, Legal. It wasn't just gossip. It held files of private conversations, some from closed-door teacher meetings and even therapy sessions shared during support circles. Chelsea hadn't just manipulated parents, she'd infiltrated their vulnerabilities. She weaponized trust, Monica whispered. Emily's face blanched. The voice, recording files weren't just a petty tool, they were a vault of blackmail. And suddenly, we realized, the Queen Bee's downfall hadn't even started. She'd built a regime, and we were only just uncovering its rot. Monica reached out to a tech-savvy parent, Marcus, who decrypted metadata from the files. What he uncovered was devastating. Chelsea had been feeding selected recordings to a private law group run by her brother, targeting specific families for potential lawsuits tied to school board votes, Emily's application for a grant, sabotage through anonymous tips from Chelsea's aliases, Monica's friend, quietly transferred after a tip about negligence. This wasn't gossip, Marcus said. It was coordinated destruction. The audio files weren't her worst crime. They were just the start of a machine built to erase people, one edited quote at a time. As parents rallied to expose Chelsea, Monica received an anonymous email titled, "Before you go further." It contained a pristine audio clip Monica, venting about her own marriage struggles during a late-night call with Emily. "She recorded me too," Monica muttered, shaken. The timestamp matched a night Chelsea had borrowed Monica's phone to check the carpool app. It was a final fail. safe blackmail in case anyone rose too far. Emily placed a hand on Monica's shoulder. She used me too, she said. The betrayal ran deeper than we thought. Chelsea hadn't just burned bridges, she'd mined them with traps. Determined, Monica called an emergency meeting with the PTA board and presented Chelsea's web-edited files, metadata links, and the anonymous threats. But the board president, Diane, interrupted. We knew, she said quietly. We just didn't think she'd turn on us too. Chelsea had been bribing votes with favors and threats. Diane showed her own file intimate recordings labeled leverage. The silence was suffocating. Monica realized this wasn't one woman's scheme. It was an empire of silence. But now, the cracks were everywhere. The voice, recording files weren't just proof. They were Chelsea's confession, carved in digital stone. The final blow came from an unexpected ally, Chelsea's former assistant Jenna, who showed up at Monica's door with a flash drive. She made me delete people, Jenna said, trembling. The drive held backups, raw recordings, unedited proof. Chelsea had doctored nearly every clip. The original of Emily's supposed meltdown, calm, reasonable, Monica's venting, taken wildly out of context. She twisted everything, Jenna whispered. That night, Monica uploaded the files anonymously to the school's transparency board. Within hours, a flood of parents demanded Chelsea's removal. The illusion shattered, and at last, the Queen Bee's downfall began, with her own hive turning against her. Chelsea tried damage control, posting a teary apology video claiming misunderstandings and technological errors, but the comments were brutal. One parent reposted the raw clip of Chelsea laughing, let them beg to be on the bake sale list. Another tagged the school board, demanding investigation. Emily, now emboldened, publicly commented, no more hiding. Within 24 hours, local news picked up the story. PTA scandal, suburbs power mom accused of audio sabotage. The story wasn't about miscommunication anymore. It was about calculated cruelty, and this time, no simper, no charm, could clean up the truth. The school district launched a formal inquiry. Chelsea was suspended from all volunteer roles, pending investigation. But what truly shattered her was the reaction from her own inner circle. Her closest ally, Rebecca, posted, I defended her for years, I was wrong. One by one, parents began unfollowing, unsubscribing, and withdrawing from her curated empire. Emily was approached by a local podcast to share her story. Monica declined interviews, but her silence spoke louder than Chelsea's desperate PR emails. The empire hadn't crumbled, it had been rejected. Chelsea's reputation wasn't just gone, it was radioactive. Days later, Emily received an envelope. No return address. Inside was a thank you card with one line. You reminded me I'm not invisible. Dozens of others followed, parents, teachers, even teens, acknowledging how Chelsea's manipulation had affected them. Monica quietly organized a listening circle at the community center, not to retaliate, but to heal. Emily spoke first. Her voice, once shaky, was now clear. She tried to edit who we were, she said, but we get to write our own story. That evening, no one mentioned Chelsea's name. Her power faded the moment people stopped fearing her. The final revelation struck like lightning. Monica uncovered a funding record. Chelsea had funneled community grant money into fake projects, using dummy parent committees that never existed. Emily's denied proposal had been replaced with Chelsea Cares, a sham after-school initiative that never ran. With proof in hand, Monica submitted the findings to the local auditor. Within days, Chelsea's name was removed from all district records. Her manipulative simper had once ruled every event, now it was a punchline. The damage she caused was real, but so was the backlash. Her grip broken permanently. Just before the final PTA meeting of the year, Monica received one last email, from Chelsea herself. I know you hated me, but I built everything. You'll see what happens when I'm gone. It wasn't an apology. It was a threat wrapped in entitlement. Monica didn't reply. Instead, she walked into the meeting with Emily beside her, a stack of ethics reform proposals in hand. Chelsea's chair sat empty, removed from the room entirely. The board passed every motion unanimously. The era of secrets had ended not with chaos, but with clarity, and Chelsea, she watched from the shadows, powerless. In a final attempt to salvage her image, Chelsea hosted a live-streamed truth session, expecting sympathy. Instead, the chat exploded with parents posting their own audio clips, screenshots, and stories. One mother typed, "You told my daughter she wasn't fundraiser material." Another, "You made my son cry at talent day." The stream crashed under the flood of real voices. Monica didn't tune in. She was helping Emily prepare for her panel at the annual Parent Leadership Summit. Chelsea's downfall didn't need witnesses anymore. It had become a movement, one that no amount of spin could mute. The last nail came quietly. Chelsea received a certified letter. She was barred from school property and community events indefinitely, citing ethics violations and data misuse. No headlines, no applause, just silence. Monica watched from her porch as Chelsea packed her SUV alone, the same one she once used to chauffeur hand-picked parents. No one waved. Emily, now on the PTA advisory board, passed by with her daughter, offering a polite nod, not of respect, but closure. The Queen Bee's downfall was complete. Chelsea wasn't just gone. She had been erased by the very voices she once tried to control. I stood in the newly painted parent lounge, watching Emily pin up the week's schedule. A year ago, she wouldn't step into this room. Now, she led with quiet strength. I felt a deep mix of relief and pride as I held the cracked voice recorder in my hand. Chelsea's old weapon, now powerless. That plastic shell reminded me of every lie, every silence we endured. We're not going back, Emily said softly. I nodded. We didn't just expose Chelsea. We reclaimed what she tried to erase: our dignity, our voice, our space. And we built something stronger in its place. At home, I opened my laptop and reread the anonymous thank you letters from parents I'd never even met. Each one was a reminder that Chelsea's reign had silenced more than we knew. I clutched the flash drive Jenna had given me, the one that cracked the facade. I thought I'd burn it. Instead, I archived it, not to remember her but to remember us. Truth doesn't need edits, I whispered, closing the lid. Emily texted me a photo of the new community board. Your voice matters was painted across it. This was more than recovery. It was rebirth. I found Emily at the community center one afternoon, speaking with a new mom who looked overwhelmed. She listened without judgment, no agenda, no clipboard, just presence. I remembered how Chelsea used to hover during first-time parent meetings, memorizing names for leverage. We lead differently now, Emily said, catching my glance. I nodded, moved. The secret voice. Recording files once stood for fear, but now they symbolized vigilance. We learned to ask, to question, to protect each other. I didn't just survive the storm, we rewrote the rules. And for the first time, our silence wasn't stolen. It was chosen. Chelsea's name was officially removed from every school document, her volunteer clearance permanently revoked. A quiet memo circulated. Ethics policy revised, effective immediately. The parents who once followed her began organizing open forums, real ones, without hidden agendas. Emily stood at the front of the first one, no longer sidelined, no longer whispered about. As she spoke, I caught the faintest smile, pride without pretense. The cracked recorder now sat in a glass box marked Truth Matters. Chelsea's manipulative simper was gone. And the community, finally louder than her lies. Emily was asked to lead the new Parent Integrity Council, something she'd once only dreamed of. At her first meeting, she opened with, "This isn't about power, it's about trust." Applause followed, not out of pity, but respect. Monica joined her onstage, no longer as the whispering friend in the back, but as a builder of change. The community center buzzed with real energy, not fear, and that infamous phrase, Queen Bee's downfall, became a lesson, not a threat. The symbol that once recorded betrayal now echoed something stronger. We chose transparency over tyranny. At the next school fundraiser, there were no thrones, no rankings, just tables of parents laughing, working together. Monica stood beside Emily, watching kids draw on a banner that read, "Every voice counts." No secrets, no recordings, just connection. Chelsea had vanished from their conversations, her legacy erased by action, not silence. Monica whispered, "We didn't just stop her, we rewrote what leadership looks like." Emily nodded, her eyes shining. The voice recording files that once paralyzed the community had become proof, not of fear, but of resilience. And in that moment, their story belonged to them completely.